Hello student, welcome to Mr. Lee Design Technology channel. This video is about teaching you how to complete the first assessment for the design drawing. We're going to look at the freehand sketching part. So as you can see, the assessment notification has a quick link to direct you to the specific document. So when you look at the line grips and isometric circle, this is the document that you can see. And the task for this part is pretty strict. Right, you just need to practice and get everything done properly. So the dotted line that you see, all the dotted line, that is where you need to follow the directions, right? The freehand curve, dot to dot, and the lettering. Lettering will start first. You just need to connect these two row of dots, okay, using the little short lines to form into a straight line. And later on, you go dot to dot, means from one point to the other point, okay, directly. And then you will complete the third practice, the freehand curve. Please slow down and take time to practice before you complete these exercise sheets. And you also need to do the creating grid. Okay, there's a normal, vertical and horizontal grid, and then also there's isometric grid. And there's also isometric circle that you need to complete, right? Using two different methods. One is the isometric cube to complete the circle there, and then the other one is the iso circle using two straight lines. So I will do a demo later on. This part of the paper is for you to do the isometric drawings, right? So we'll cover it later on. Let's try the first thing, right? So when you are doing the practice, okay, you may want to start from the lettering. So lettering, you can see there's two, okay, row of dots. So I will just put it down on the paper here. All right, I just, okay, draw some dots over and then some other dots on the other end. So that lettering basically will require you to just use the short and heady lines and then draw it as straight as possible to connect the dot on both ends. Alright, you may do this thing, okay, carefully to keep the line as straight as possible. And then when you try to connect them, also look at the direction. Alright, this will practice your accuracy. Okay, so usually this will be the first practice. When you're confident enough and you find that you're ready to go for the dot to dot, then let's just draw another set of dot here. Just draw it a little bit further. Alright, this is where you try to draw one shot, okay? You may just try to draw from point A to point B with one straight line. Alright, one straight line, one straight line, one straight line, and one straight line. Okay, so this is dot to dot. Okay, without using the short and heady line joined together, you just try to draw them in one shot. And once you are confident enough, you may proceed to the next one. While you're drawing curve, right? You draw curve first before you draw circle. So I will just draw two rows of dots here. Alright, and you try to just connect them using curve, right? See how I do? Just connect from this one to this one. Not a straight line, but you want to make it curve. Like this. Or you can do in the other direction. See it? So practice this one. Okay, try one more. Doesn't matter the curvature, you just need to practice this one to make it smooth and round. Alright, so once you have practiced all the basic line and curve sketch, right, the next thing you want to move into drawing the isometric circle. So one of the methods that I normally would do is to draw a diamond shape first. So you draw a diamond shape, and then based on the diamond shape, you look at, okay, the four sides and four corners, okay, and try to connect here, top and bottom, with a nice rounded edge like this. and like this. And once you're done, you need to round up both left and right to make it into an oval. And there you go. This is one isometric circle. Once you have enough practice, you may move on to the next task, just to draw two straight line and draw the oval or the isometric circle in between these two lines. Same thing, keep both ends slightly rounded. And there you go. Alright, this is a little bit round. We can try another one that is slightly slimmer. Right, so that will complete 1/3 of the task for your freehand line sketching practice. Next, move on to the grip. So for drawing the grip, right, your task is to make sure that you use all the small patches to fill up the whole space. So if you start for the normal one, you can see there's a square box there. Your job is to try to line up all the small patches of the grip, the hatching line. To practice this thing, try to maintain the spacing between each of the line as even as possible. You may end up just having to create lots of small square. Alright, and you just need to keep practice this one until you fill up the whole space. So when teacher marking this one, we mark on the quality, okay, and quantity as well. Yeah. When you're doing the isometric grip, same thing, right? The whole boxes, you need to fill it up with all the little practice. So start from diagonal line, and then the other direction. All right, and that's it. Okay, the purpose of doing this is to prepare you for the big summative assessment while you're going to design a Bluetooth speaker. So please spend time to practice this thing to ensure that you have acquired the basic foundation skill. All right, next we will look at the perspective drawing. So another worksheet that you will receive is this 1-point perspective and then 2-point perspective drawing. All right, let me explain how you're going to complete this task. And well, so for 1-point perspective, right, the drawing itself will have only one vanishing point. So I'm going to draw, I'm going to draw on this half end here. All right, so whenever we draw, right, all the objects, will have a visual disappearing point. We call it the vanishing point. So this is the vanishing point. And I'm going to draw, right, 3 different boxes, and because normally we practice to have, right, the vanishing point is right at the horizon. So this is the horizon, and then we will just draw, right, 3 different sizes, rectangular or square, around different part of this empty space. Let's try the first one. We start from somewhere here, right? If you want, you can just go over here, just draw a little, square or rectangular, rectangle you want, or doesn't matter, just draw one, and then you can try another one somewhere below here. You can see that after you have practiced the line and the curve drawing, right, you can actually draw it pretty accurate. And then make sure that you have one of the boxes that is going across the horizon. So I will just put another one here. All right. So 1-point perspective drawing, all the objects, will have their visual disappearing point, which is called the vanishing point, right? Disappearing here. So let's say if I want to draw something that's floating at the middle of the air, then I will need to connect the corner towards the vanishing point here. Same thing for this one. Same thing for this one. All right, then same for the other two. So I will just connect all the corners that can be connected to the vanishing point here. And please do it slowly to ensure accuracy. All right, and then one more here, one more here. Okay, but how do we know that how long or how deep is this thing? Okay, so that you need to give a definition on the endpoint. So we're going to finish this one here. All right, and then make the edge more defining. Have the other one here. And this is the last one. Okay, any object that go across the horizon, right, you will only see one surface. You won't see both. So this is the last one. All right, so this is one point perspective sketch. All right, that all object vanish into one vanishing point. Okay. If you would like to try, okay, I suggest you do a little bit, okay, line hatching using the technique that I just practiced, right? Like you can just lay lines, okay, horizontal line. And I try to do this one, all right, brighter side. Then this is the grayscale, and this is the darker side. So this will be the line. So once I'm done, you will then understand why you need to practice the grid drawing. See it? With one single layer of parallel lines, and then you do the cross hatching, you can actually create different color tones. Okay, so same thing here, brighter gray, and then darker on the side they're facing towards. So I'll do this one, same thing. Try not to let all the grid or cross hatching line go over, so that you can keep your drawing nice and neat. Alright, just use line. Alright, so now you can see they have all the different color tones. Next, we look at the two-point perspective drawing. Alright, so two-point perspective drawing, all object will have two vanishing points. So first thing, layout, lay down the horizon. We have two vanishing points, one left, one right. And then I would need you to draw, alright, three different boxes across various height. Okay, and remember one of it must go across the middle, which is the horizon. So I will just draw the first one here, the second one, so we're going around the top, and then another one below. Alright, remember when you draw this, do not use ruler. Practice your freehand sketching skill. Alright, as long as you can, just draw the line across straight. Alright, and accurate. Right, it's all good. See it? So practice not to use ruler, because when you are doing your design sketch, you won't have time to use ruler, right? To slowly and take your time and to draw it. No way. So make sure that you practice, okay, using freehand sketch. Set done. Yeah. I'll give the definition of the objects sizes here again, and then here as well. So once done, right, you just need to darken the outline to make the boxes more defined along the edge. This will ensure that, okay, when teacher mark your sketch, they know that you have done it accurately. Okay, a little bit mistake along the line is absolutely fine, right? We won't penalize you on that, but make sure that you don't just make the whole picture, okay, very messy. All right, a little bit mistake is all right. Just don't mix the whole worksheets that are very, messy and dirty. Okay, when this done, all right, I would like you to do the same thing over here. All right, just trying to use, okay, the line that you have just practiced. All right, do a little bit, okay, hatching, and then use cross hatching as well. It's all right if you are more comfortable on doing this in a different direction. All right, so it's your freedom how you want to choose it. Same thing. This one I'll just do one single layer, and then alright, so that completes your 1 point perspective and 2 point perspective sketch exercise. Next, we'll look at the pencil sharpener. So this is the example that I did like a few years back, but the original picture, right, should have already been posted into your learning document. So I would like you to just observe the original and try to, okay, draw it. And if you look at the sample picture carefully, right, you'll notice that this is actually taken in a 2 point perspective angle. Right? And when you look closely, you can see that, okay, there's actually two vanishing points, one towards the left, one towards the right. The rest of the structure are following the exact, okay, directions. Let's get started. Okay, so while drawing such object, right, okay, first thing you need to ensure that you have, okay, do the little bit like line cage. Okay, I call the line cage, the guideline, right? How should you start? Okay, remember you need to start with the 2 point perspective angle. So I will draw the first line that closest or near to me. I just draw the first one here. Alright, don't have to draw it so dark, alright, but just lightly. And then the longer side with the finger grip, going this way, going this way. The other side with the hole that allows you to, right, insert the pencil and sharpen it here. And then this is the other side. And because this is not a very long pencil sharpener, so we'll just end here, somewhere here. Alright. So this is the approximate parameter guideline, okay, for me to start with the pencil sharpener. You can see that even sometimes I will have a little bit mistake here, just ignore it, right? It's not important, okay? Most important is you're going to practice the accuracy, okay? And once I have draw the guideline, okay, like little cage, okay, to keep the parameter within this whole area, and then now I will start adding the detail. All right, the first detail is add the hole for the pencil to be inserting. Okay, so it's actually a isometric circle. So I will just draw the approximate position of the isometric circle, which is a little bit, okay, center towards the left. So I just draw a very light guideline here. Alright, once I have the guideline, and then I just put the isometric circle over this whole area. Right, so that will be the hole for the users to, okay, insert the pencil and then sharpen it. And then now I will give a little bit more define along the edge. Okay, so just darken the line a little bit. the corner is a little bit rounded, so make sure that you don't draw it too sharp, okay, too spiky on the corner. Right, this is a little bit rounded edge here, and a little bit rounded edge here. All right, and we can see there's a finger grip along both sides, so we need to define how long is the finger grip. So I'll put the first line somewhere around here. Then this is the second line somewhere at the back here. Like, wait, hang on, there's a little bit misalignment, so I need to redefine the edge. Okay, that will be good enough. The other one somewhere at the back here. All right, so once I have defined the edge, okay, I'm going to quickly mark up, okay, where they ends vertically. So one here, one here. And once done, I will darken the bottom here to give a more defined edge. Same thing for the top. Round it up and draw downwards. Round it up here as well. Round up. All right. When you look at the picture carefully, you notice that there's a lot of vertical parallel, okay, gripping patterns lining up here and the other side as well. So before we draw that, you may want to just draw a very light guideline to guide the direction of individual patterns. Okay, so I just draw a little curved line. So see that the practice that you have done on the curved line will then come as handy here. Same as the other side. All right, that will set the edge of all the patterns. And once it's done, right, you may want to start to giving out all the detail. First, I will give a more defined edge at the back, to set the outline to be more clear. All right, and same thing go for here. And then there's this individual little texture that I will just put it on the surface. So there it goes from a little bit big and then gets a little bit smaller and smaller. And smaller. Then ends here. Alright, so the other end, will be the opposite direction. Alright, smaller patterns on this side and larger here. Then this will be the smaller and goes larger. Okay, that is because the angle that you are looking at it. Okay, so I'm going to draw it smaller, smaller, smaller pattern, slowly getting bigger, 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 and bigger. Same thing for the bottom. Smaller, 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 smaller. Start increasing the size. Bigger, 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 and bigger. And then I'm going to connect them. Right, one by one. So this is just like the practice to train your eyes for detail. If you are unable to connect them, right, pair by pair, it's alright. It's alright. Okay, take it as a practice. Okay, first time there may be a little mistake. As long as you have improved it in the future, it's alright. That'll be all good. Alright. So now the side patterns are all done, set and done. Alright, I will then proceed to darken some of these to make the edge more defining. Okay, for example, I will just give a little bit darker lines from top down. And go here. And the color is somewhere brighter here and gets darker on this end, so you may want to do the same thing as well. Alright, I will just keep a little bit hatching to darken the line. And then more lines here. And a little bit lines to this side. Alright, so the shadings are done here. Opposite, alright, you can pretty much ignore it for now because we can't actually see through it, so we just leave it as what it is. Okay, and now I will go add the blades and plaster. Okay, so the screw. So the blades is across almost from one end to the other end and is parallel to the edge. So from here, and the blade will actually stop almost at the middle of the cone shapes here. So we just stop the blade somewhere here, and this will go across. Alright, go across, and we'll stop somewhere here. Okay, and you may notice there's a little screws. So that is actually like a cylindrical shape. But the screw is basically going to be at the middle, almost at the middle here. So just draw the top first. And then the screw has a certain thickness at the head. So just draw over here. Alright. And we can see the blades is pretty sharp, alright, so and we want to draw the detail here as well. Alright, there's a little gap widening at this side. Alright, and goes a little bit beyond the screw position, and it's even wider at the ending here. Alright, and then this goes downward. So when it's done, alright, let's darken the line to give a more defined edge. There's the blade. And then we're going to draw the cross on top. Right, so the cross. Because the cross, this is for the Phillips screw, right? So we need to give a little bit, depth of it. Yeah, and that's almost to the end, except that there's a little bit, hatching needs to be done. Right, so for now, I will start darkening the hole for the pencil. Right, so you can see that right now the edge is not very defining. So let's darken it. And we'll also put the lines here. So sometimes if you find that it's useful, right, to leave a little bit white space, all right, that will be all right, because then people understand, oh, it's actually, some reflection here. Use all the single parallel line for this part. Go darken a little bit here. And a little bit here. Define the edge. A little bit darker here. It's not so what. Alright. And now look at the inside detail. Alright, so I will just leave the screw top part a little bit darker as what you can see from the picture. And then make the outline more defined. And you can see this side is actually pretty dark, so we're going to increase the color darkness, okay, to drop the tone much darker, and then here as well. Here we're going to make it lighter, not so dark. All right, and once you have reached to this stage, then the rest of the thing is just to further refine the detail. For example, the screws, right? We want to darken it a little bit on this side. And there will be a little shadow, maybe, yes or no, or you can just put the shadow over here. And then this side will actually be pretty dark, so we're going to shape this a little bit. Okay, grayscale first. And then I'll increase the color tones here. And then here it will be even darker. Okay, to refine a little bit detail around the finger grip. Right, so I need to darken the lines. Some of this needs to be more obvious and more visible. And I'll go give a little bit shading on the individual. And then last but not least, we're going to create the little shadow at the bottom of the object. So always remember any sketches that you draw for design tag need to always add in the shadows at the bottom here. And that require you to have a more darker and defined edge, okay, along this area. So we'll add shadow. It will be good if the shadow is darker than the object that you are sketching. So this normally require you to have a more progressive hatching to darker a little bit further. Alright, so let me double check what else that I missed out or maybe no. Okay. So here is the little interesting. Alright, so if when you look at the blades, this is not a very defined edge. Okay, let's just darken a little bit so that it will be more obvious and visible. Alright, see that? Okay, oh, here. And that's all. Thanks for watching. Alright, if you have any question regarding any other assessment, please let your design tech teacher know. Thanks for watching.